Scorpio. What's up, Scorpio? This is G. 2 new beginnings and 1 ending. First new beginning. Bam. Ending. Right there. And second new beginning. Your beginning is happening with friends. It's group energy. It's your social circles. So you'll be joining new groups, meeting new people. This might be online, on the social platforms. This is a new beginning. There's something here with this new beginning energy where it's got to do with, do you work online? It could be a little bit of that. It could also be people who are just like-minded. They're kind of like practical thinkers. They have the capacity to handle details and information. Like for Scorpios, you have smart friends. They have the ability to handle all the details and then to put them all together and to see the big picture. And then even more. Like, it's like that scientist, like rocket scientist energy. Now, obviously, you may have some different things in your chart and say, hey, gee, I'm not a rocket scientist, but you may have some super smart friends that are pretty darn smart. It could even just be people who are like your coworkers even. I know I mentioned, do you work online? But maybe you're constantly communicating with your coworkers. There's something here, but it's also saying it could be people that you like. Do you do like yoga or work out, or even pets, like service? Do you do like community service? Do you volunteer? Like this may be some of that energy as well. It's the 11th house, like the social circles and the friends. It's these are people where like you would be in the community doing stuff together, like some social causes or social activists even. But it's really more about, it's a real earthy energy. So it might be stuff with the earth. It might be like gardening, right? Stuff like that. A new beginning. So let's pull your card and get some more details for you. Look at that. I find this fascinating. We have present earth energy. Saturn is like the taskmaster. Saturn is a little bit more than that, though. Saturn is about work. Saturn is about, this is what I have to do to reach my goal. Some would say it can represent a burden, right? Doing hard work. It does it a little bit at a time. It doesn't race. It's like the story of the tortoise and the hare. It is the tortoise, it's methodical. It goes one step at a time, and it carefully goes one step at a time, especially if you're carrying a heavy load, right? Saturn is someone who's wise, someone who's been around. They use time-honored traditions, right? It's all about things that are hard, rocks, iron, stones, things that are hard things of the earth, interesting stones. And we mentioned, something earth and possibly gardening involved, moving stones around. That's what this person's doing. We also have the sun here. So this is like an authority figure, possibly a boss. And this is also an authority figure. It's the sun. See that? The Leo, the king. And then we've got the sun up here, right? So are you friends with bosses at the job? Could you possibly be the boss at the job? Are you looking for a promotion? It's a new beginning, and it has to do with jobs and daily routines. But this looks like if you get a promotion, you're definitely getting more responsibilities with it. Even if it's not a job that you get paid, there's something with friends and more responsibilities, where somebody might need help. You're stepping up and you're helping to carry. Saturn is like the responsibilities in our life. It's like we're asked to do something and it's like, we don't want to do it. But guess what? At the end of the day, adults do shit they don't want to do, right? That's Saturn energy. Doing stuff I don't want to do. I do it because I'm supposed to do it. Traditions, right? I'm doing it because I'm supposed to. This definitely screams somebody older in your life. Could be a female that just, radiates a lot of masculine energy, or it could literally be a male in your life. Could even be a father figure or your father. Okay. somebody who's definitely older. And even if they're not older by age, there's something about them that's older. Like they were just born older. In the middle of the month, you're going to have an ending and a closure. So I just want to address something right now. I know this card is upside down because I can tell by the wording. And so when I flip the card over, when the time comes, just keep in mind that all that means is that this ending isn't necessarily going to be the smoothest thing in the world. You'll get through it, you'll release, and you'll let go. But it just it might require a little finesse and finagling. You might have to be flexible. You might have to be accommodating. You might have to, it might not be as easy to release as you wanted to. So let's find out where this is happening before I even mess with the card, because that is just for a clarifier. Astrologically, Scorpio, this is in the 5th house of fun routines. So it's like fun. It's things you did when you were a kid. This can be dating, mating, and relating. So are you letting somebody go that you're romantically involved with? Are you, there might be some flirtatious stuff, right? That you're like growing up and growing out of even, because it doesn't even have to be a person, but it might be, I'm hearing addictions actually. Doesn't mean you're an addict. It just means like there might be things you engage in that are fun that you find addictive. This would explain the upside down card, because if it's something you're trying to release, it takes work. It's especially as I'm looking at your astrology, it's a Pisces energy. So many times that Piscean energy, because it's unconscious, there might be self-defeating things that you do, right? That keep you in the ritual or keep you in the habit or keep you in the mode, right? So something you did when you were a kid, a way that you have fun, a way that you take a risk with your body even. So when I say Pisces, just think like dreams and fantasies, right? Movies. This could have to do with religion also. It could have to do with you sacrificing or identifying with being the person who's supposed to sacrifice. But yeah, this is releasing that. So possibly, again, I know I mentioned a romantic partner. I did. That is part of this energy too. So possibly your thoughts about what a romantic partner is supposed to be like. They're known for having the rose-colored glasses on. So they don't really see the details, right? Sometimes they don't want to see the details. So they prefer to be like, oh, well, this is how this is, even though it's really not that way. It has the ability, think about if you were underwater and the water was all dirty, like you open your eyes, you still can't see shit, right? Because it's dirty water. And everything it just looks murky down there. That's that Pisces energy. Okay. So children, fun, joy, creativity, possibly dating and romance. You are having a release and a let go. So let's flip this over and find out what it is that you're choosing to release. A release and a belief, possibly. Remember I mentioned that earlier, that might be part of it. See how Mercury's on the card? We got Virgo, a release and a belief about like Virgo is daily routines. So this can be a habit type of a thing as well. But if this is like somebody who's counting money, someone who's hoarding money, addicted to money, I don't know. You tell me. I remember a guy that I dated once who was, he always said he has no addictions. He said, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do any of that. And he didn't. He was on point about that. He said, however, there was one thing that I would call an addiction. And I said, okay. You're like holding your breath. Oh God, what is this going to be? He said, I like movies. I said, okay, that's not such a big deal, right? He likes movies. I could do that. Long story short, I couldn't do that. He was not joking. The first thing he would do when he would get up in the morning, he would either pop like something on the TV. He was watching something or a movie or whatever. He was watching something all the time. For him, that was fun, but it was a repetitive way of being fun and also living in this alternate reality, like not being where he was. So in his free time, and I mean like lunch break, whatever, a movie, eating breakfast, a movie, eating dinner, a movie, right? And so anyway, that was his addiction. So this is not substance. This says values. This is screaming values. So whatever that fun thing was, it was Pisces, which is fascinating. But Taurus is here. Taurus is the creature comforts. They're showing Taurus is all about the moolah, the cashola, which, yeah, you need the cashola and the moolah to get the food, the wine, the clothing, the jewelry, because that's Taurus, right? It's material, tangible wealth, but it's also self-values, like loving the self. But this person is an accumulator of money. They value material and money. So the mind is involved in this, but Virgo is too. So it's connected to work. It's connected to your work vibe. So this is a release and an ending, something that you're choosing. When I say it's connected to a work vibe, it could simply be a health routine. And Virgo can be pets and stuff like that, but it can be hygiene. It can be how you serve somebody. This can be a neighbor or a sibling type of energy as well. Okay. So something or someone you are releasing, and it may be something you consider a habit or something you're addicted to or something you have a strong desire for. Taurus is also sex, by the way. I'll just add that in there since we're in your 5th house. I might as well, right? End of the month, you have a beginning, Scorpio. You have a new beginning at the end of the month, and this is going to be House of Mystery, your 12th house of mystery. All right. Mystery is like your subconscious. It's like when you go to sleep, what happens, right? What happens there, right? It's kind of fuzzy, right? That's that Piscean energy I already spoke about a little bit. It's fuzzy. It's murky. You don't know what goes on. You go to sleep. Oh, wait, I dream. Right. So this is a new moon, which means that something from your subconscious comes to light. You're going to be made aware of something. Now, this involves significant one-on-one relationships. These relationships are people you'd be willing to commit to in some way or contract with in some way. So it can be business, but it can be marriage. So you had possibly some sort of subconscious history, like soul history with marriage partners or people that you've been romantically involved with or somebody that you literally did marry or wanted to marry in this lifetime. This is a new beginning in that area, which I'm finding super fascinating because we talked about your 5th house and releasing some stuff or people. And then here we have this new beginning, and it involves significant one-on-one relationships, possibly marriage and business partnerships. So you may have somebody enter your life. Somebody that was once hidden may come forward. It may not just be your subconscious, but literally somebody may materialize. So let's pull the card and see for September. There's 2 people, and they're friends, because they're literally speaking and waving to each other, but they are taking separate paths, and that these separate paths could just simply be, I have to go to work, so I'm going this way. I have to go to work and I'm going this way. It can be that. Absolutely. They're friends, which is good. And they know each other. Interesting. Because we're talking about partnership energy, relationship energy, right? Now, this card is Venus and Taurus, which is love and values. So this can be like, I love you, love. This can also be work and money, right? Because that's Venus and Taurus, right? Work and money. Interesting. Maybe a business partnership is coming forward for you. Maybe it's not about love. Maybe it is business. It could be. I don't know. These are 2 masculine beings walking in separate directions. We also have Mars energy, independent action. Mars is my body, independent action, friends and group energy. Yeah, we're friends, but we can do different things and still be friends. Right? Now, I will say that these energies, there is a little stress. So there's something about this for you that you're a little bit uncomfortable with. There's these ideals. I'm just going to put it bluntly. There's these ideals that you have. You may not be aware of the ideals of what a relationship or a business partnership is supposed to look like. Like, it's not to say you're wrong, but these ideals that are subconscious for you in partnerships, it's from a long time ago, like you just carry it energetically, like in your soul's memory, you carry it. And so it is those ideas of equality, imperfection. Equality is great, but when we hold it to such a high level, sometimes, like, we don't understand how it's already fair and balanced. Like, how that happens in relationships. Oh, they don't want to do it when I want to do it. And I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking about, I don't know, anything, right? When you start living with somebody, it's like anything, timings and cycles of everything and anything, right? And so it's understanding it's okay to have our own fun times or our own separate paths at times, right? We just have to figure out what it is that we value, and do we share the same values? Do we still value each other? But this is a new beginning. So there's something here. Maybe you are stepping out and creating a new path for yourself. This is an independent spirit. It's got the energy. It's got the courage, and it understands that we can still be friends and still be separate, right? We can still love one another and not be connected at the hip, right? So a new beginning for you, Scorpio. I'm excited about this because in combination with some of these other things we've shown here, like the progression of your energy for September, it screams, yes, there's going to be work. There's going to be some responsibilities, but something here says to me, there's a sense of independence too. And it's acknowledging yourself. And so when we acknowledge ourselves with that self-love, we then take better care of ourselves. Like, we do different things for work by acknowledging that, hey, we're of value and we got to make it for the long term. So enjoy your September, Scorpio. So below the video, I'll have all the degrees for those of you who like to pay attention to the degrees in your chart. Again, if you don't know and you want to know, just comment below.